Hey, how's it going, guys? Jack and Matt here with the Toaster Bros, and today we're going to be putting together this $500 streaming and gaming PC.
This PC is going to be a great value for your dollar, and it uses a lot of used parts, which is kind of the only way to get PC parts right now. But before we get into this video, let's hear a word from today's sponsor.
This video is brought to you by Toasty Deals, a Twitter account made by, well, us, to deliver you PC hardware and tech deals every day located right in your Twitter feed. Check the link down below and drop a follow, and also mention us on Twitter telling us what kind of deals you are looking for, and we will do our best to try to make it happen. So check out Toasty Deals today, link in the description down below.
So before we talk about the parts, just to let you guys know, everything else is new besides the motherboard, RAM, and CPU. We'll actually have a link in the description down below to go to eBay, where you can actually get a motherboard, CPU, RAM combo anywhere from like $100 to $200. They're all different types of Xeons and motherboard combos. Just make sure they work, and usually you're good to go. This
is kind of like an alternative to going the AliExpress route, which if you have some patience and are willing to wait, hit the eye in the top right corner to that video where we did a $350 PC that has a AliExpress Xeon. That's a really good option if you're willing to wait. But this one right here is from eBay, which is even better. So how about go ahead and talk about each individual part and how it makes up this $500 gaming PC. Wow.
Okay guys, so for this specific CPU motherboard combo, we went with the Xeon E3-1231B3. That's a 4-core 8-thread that turbo boosts to 3.8 gigahertz, runs at 3.4 standard. So honestly, for a 4-core 8-thread, that is pretty good. So obviously it's a little bit older, but we're expecting some pretty good numbers to be able to actually stream, game, and maybe even do some small editing on this. Something else that's really awesome, and you are not going to get on AliExpress, is the seller actually included 4 gig sticks of Corsair Vengeance RAM. I don't know the speed yet. It's probably 1600 or 1866, but quad channel. We got 4 sticks. That's pretty cool. And on top of that, an Asus B85ME motherboard. So it's all name brand stuff here. There's nothing that was really skimped out on. So that's really nice. For about $150 what we got this combo for. It's really a good deal compared to the AliExpress stuff. Even though the AliExpress is a little bit cheaper, this stuff's all name brand and trustworthy. For the graphics card, you guys know we really love this card now. This is the PNY 1650 Super. You can usually get these for like anywhere from 150 to 180, so they're usually really good deals. And on top of that, new NVENC encoder. We're gonna be streaming. We want to be able to put less strain on the hardware itself, and so running NVENC definitely will help us with that. 4 gigs of VRAM too, which will be plenty for, you know, dual monitors and whatnot, which after we release this video, we'll actually be doing a full streaming setup for $800, so don't forget to check that out.
Now for storage. Sadly, within the budget, all we could do is a 240 gigabyte SSD, but most likely in a configuration like this, we'll leave links down below. I would invest in a hard drive. You could buy one on eBay if you want to. That would be perfectly fine. So you can play games like Warzone. But 240 gigabytes, these 8 SSDs are pretty affordable, and we use them a lot in our PC builds. Now look at this here, ladies and gentlemen, a power supply. This thing is worth millions of dollars nowadays, but just all jokes aside. This is a Thermaltake Smart 500 watt. They go in and out of stock on Amazon. We were actually able to snag one of these for around the normal asking price of about 40 bucks, but now they're back up to 52. By the time this video releases, they may be $2,000. Who knows? But this is a really reliable unit that we've used in a ton of PC builds. If you watch all our videos, you know this is one of our favorite value power supplies, and it will do great. 500 watts is more than enough for this PC. And lastly, the case. This is the Cooler Master MB600L, which is a nice Cooler Master case with acrylic on the side, not timber glass, but it is a budget-friendly case. Has a nice minimal aesthetic to it, which all we're going to do is slap in one of our cheap RGB strips, which we buy in bulk off eBay because we use them a ton, and make this a really nice and clean PC build. So how about we go ahead, put this thing together, and watch Jackson trip into the tripod again because he likes to do that all the time.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, now that we have this PC all put together, let's talk about those benchmarks real quick, shall we? Now, this PC was actually pretty good for the money. For $500 just, well, maybe a couple months ago, you could have gotten like a newer Ryzen build that would have been upgradable, and we have done a newer Ryzen build with upgradable parts for $500. Hit the eye in the top right corner if you want to check that out. But if I'm being honest here, it's really hard to get that for $500 right now. So we're trying to find a way to make a PC for $500 that is, well, usable right now, might not be as upgradable, but is available. That is the main problem right now, is finding stuff in stock. But just because the system isn't as upgradable as those other PCs doesn't mean it isn't a good option, because in games like Call of Duty Warzone, we are getting really good results on medium-high settings at 1080p, being able to run around in Warzone getting over 60 FPS all the time, stretching into the 100s at some points, is a really awesome sign for a gaming PC. And because Warzone is normally really demanding, this little Xeon with its 4 cores and 8 threads can still play pretty much any game you want. And you could definitely throw a better GPU in here and get some more results out of it, because the 1650 Super, while be it a great budget card, definitely is the bottleneck in this situation. You could throw something like a 1660 Super, maybe an RTX 2060 in this configuration, and I'd be willing to bet it would still be a pretty balanced build. So this thing does have a little bit of an upgrade path to it if you are somebody who is concerned about the long-term use of this PC. But given everything going on in the world, we really cannot complain too much about being able to get this kind of hardware and just not being able to upgrade as much as we used to. The other games we tested ran really well. We play games like Overwatch, Rainbow Six Siege, and Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Overwatch is, well, really easy to run nowadays on ultra settings, no problems whatsoever. I normally test Overwatch because it kind of represents the games like Valorant and Fortnite. They all perform really well at high settings or pro settings, which what you would run with Fortnite, getting well over 100 FPS. But Fortnite would run perfectly fine on this setup for those asking. Valorant would be good, CSGO would be good, and also Rainbow Six Siege, which is a game we tested, got well over 100 FPS. Of course, at this price point, you're going to get something that's going to be able to run esports titles without any problems whatsoever, so I was not surprised with these results. And also, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which is kind of like our AAA title test of choice, does a really good job staying over 60 FPS most of the time on high settings. You could lower the settings a little bit, but it looks like the 1650 Super is the bottleneck, which is not a bad thing, because it means the system can be upgraded, but it still delivers great performance now. So it's not a bad kind of bottleneck. It just shows that the CPU has a lot of potential to handle an even better graphics card. I am very excited to see how this system is going to work in our full streaming setup coming very soon. So if you're not subscribed, I definitely suggest hitting that subscribe button, because we're going to be dropping that very, very soon. And you're going to be surprised to see how well this little PC can stream in our full $800 streaming setup. So you don't want to miss that one. Overall, very impressed with this PC. I really do like the bundle we found for the money. If you have trouble finding this kind of combo, I would highly suggest checking out AliExpress. Yes, you do have to wait a little bit, but it is more than worth the wait, because some of the builds we've done on these AliExpress X79 and upcoming X99 bundles are amazing values for the money. So definitely consider that route if you're willing to wait, or if you're in a country that gets AliExpress shipping a lot faster. That is definitely a go-to option right now, given everything going on in the world. So overall, very impressed with this PC. How about we go ahead and bring Jackson back in here to wrap this video up real quick.
So as you guys could tell, this PC for $500 is pretty darn good. Obviously, our old combo was something like a 1600AF and an RX 580. Well, those are both things that are not quite as easy to get now for the same price at least. So honestly, this Xeon is very comparable with the 1650. It's kind of like the new meta for $500.
And if you want to wait a little bit, those AliExpress combos that we've used in other videos and videos we're going to be doing in the future, so hit that subscribe button, go check those out, can deliver even more performance for the $500 or less price point. So definitely check out those other videos if you are willing to wait or are in another country where AliExpress shipping is actually really fast. Those are really awesome options as well. But for a just bundle that you could buy on eBay, I'm actually very impressed. And of course, the 1650 Super is one of our favorite cards for budget builds, and it does not disappoint.
Literally right after filming this video, we're getting ready to start a second video where we're actually going to be putting this computer to the test in a dual monitor streaming setup, where we're going to actually try to stream and play games on the same PC. This $500 PC is going to stream a game, maybe.
And the whole setup is only gonna cost $800, so definitely stay tuned for that one. It's gonna be very exciting. But if you are interested in buying anything from this PC, links in the description down below. They are affiliate links, so you use those links, they do help us out.
If you haven't already, don't forget to check out our other 2 YouTube channels and also our twitch.tv/toastybros. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to see the $800 full streaming setup.
And we'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye, ladies and gents.
God, it's like that was scripted, dude.
Scripted,
we don't even need scripts, you know what I'm saying?